So I was living in New York City. I got there in the year 2000, and I lived through 2001, September 11. And I kept thinking to myself, how could this be? How could people who believe in God do this? And not just in that part of the world, but in other parts, and the whole history of religion. How could it be? It was just so overwhelming to see and to be there in Manhattan at the time, and it really I didn't go into a depression, but I was really saddened and horrified by what I directly experienced. It wasn't on the TV. So I went out and started meeting people of different religions and playing with different musicians and talking about my terrible discomfort because I've been a believer in God my whole life, and I got deeper and deeper into my Judaism, and in college I got really involved with Orthodox Judaism, Hasidic Judaism, and Kabbalistic Judaism, and I felt very strong that there's a creator, but there's a shadow side to religion. And I really wanted to understand it and do something different. So I went out and started meeting musicians. William Ruiz lived in Bed-Stuy. I met him over there at his apartment. And we were talking about religion. I said, I don't really want to talk about the text anymore. Can we just play music together? And at the same time, I was learning about a head of the tribe of Judah named Naqshon ben Aminadab. And Naqshon in the Midrash, which is a rabbinic canon that fills the in a sense the holes of the Torah where we don't know some of the details. The Midrash fills it in, gives us more clarity. This Midrash says that there was a man named Naqshon, head of the tribe of Judah, who, when the children of Israel and Moshe came there to the Yam Suf, the Sea of Reeds, they were all terrified, but Naqshon jumped in first before it was split, and he started walking. And he said, this is the only way we can go forward. And then the sea split. And they say it was on his merit that he had so much faith. So I started talking about a group called Naqshon's Leap with William, where we would work together not on the text-based religion, but on music-based spirituality. And in this way, we'd make a leap of faith to meet each other and have a lot to agree on. We went over to the Baha'i Center in the village and met with Gilbert Smith, and we started talking about the same concept and said, would you join the group? And we had a number of lineups in New York City and Richmond, Virginia, and came out to Memphis, and Naqshon's Leap has really sprouted here, really grown with some beautiful seeds that we started, but it really found the right soil and the right people to make this beautiful band. Well, the essence of Naqshon's Leap, as Stephen Wachtel said earlier, is that we're very distinct individuals, and we do our best to make it work. And we disagree over things, and then we talk it through, and then we find a way to collaborate. And we're always trying to take our music and our art higher in ourselves, and then together as a group. So, I didn't want to start recording until I found that we had the perfect sound. And I met Cecil and Dalian over with Blind Mississippi Morris. We started playing together. And we were working out with Larice Lanier, who's fantastic and a dear friend to us. And we started recording, and she had a different path to go on in life, so we were looking for a new singer, and we found Eric and Rasheen. Then I thought, we got it, and I got to get Gilbert out here from New York to start recording with us in Memphis. So really the essence of Naqshon's Leap is one God, one human family, and everybody in the band's on board with that. And others have said, Terry and Cecil have said, sometimes music is entertainment and there's a compensation for your time, but it's not as fulfilling as getting in there and doing the music, and we believe the money will come, and it does come here and there, which is great, and people pay us well for our services, but they know that our service is the message of one God, one human family. There's an entertaining aspect to it, but they know that there's a spiritual core at the center. Well, I think that goes back to my earlier comments. I was really struggling with the idea of remaining in the religious, spiritual, God-centered world. And I thought, what is it that goes off the tracks here? And what could I do to do something different? So after 22 years of work, I'm in the middle of a project that really answers all my questions. And I believe that faith in God is beautiful and can be very pure. There's a certain shadow side to religion that's crept up in human society that's had really, really negative effects, and we can go through books easily and find them, but there's been very tremendous positive forward-thinking people, and I think with Naqshon's Leap, out of many projects that I hope will blossom from it, and I've also been current, but I think with Naqshon's Leap we are doing something unique and different that will bolster the true beauty of spirituality and the service of God and the service of the one human family and the actual deep real experience without it being a slogan. Slogan of one God, human family is also beautiful, but actually experience it and to feel it on stage and feel it through the music is the greatest feeling I've ever felt. I think essentially it is that universal language will be an easy secondary language to people, maybe even primary. And Rasheen said it earlier. I think also our ancestors probably did music first, then it developed into language. And then we forgot what is the beauty of music language. What is that beauty that there's nothing to disagree about. We lost that. So now language in today's world is all about winning and war and proving to be right and to defeat the other side when it's really supposed to be a bridge. So if you can imagine a bridge becoming a hammer, I mean, that's not what a bridge is for, but in today's world, language is a hammer. We want to turn it back into a bridge. So I think with the Universal Language Room and people knowing that improv is easy and easy to access, with Naqshon's Leap seeing a group of guys on stage doing it, and people understanding what we're saying in our solos and our singing, I think people will go home and there'll be universal language clubs for kids from kindergarten, pre-K4 to 12th grade to college, and adults will do it in their free time. I think universal language is going to be the biggest hobby in the future.